Afternoon folks, another disused railway explore today, first one for a couple of weeks. I'm allowed back out now. We're just on the Stockley Trail, so I'm in the delightful town of Bolsover in Derbyshire. So we're going to be having a walk down the Stockley Trail and having a quick gander at the Ramcroft Colliery line. So I don't think there's a massive amount to see in terms of abandoned railway things in here, but it is a nice walk, so we're going to have a look at that circular walk today. So today we're on the former Midland Railway route between Chesterfield and Mansfield, more specifically the Doe Lea branch, also known as the Glapwell Branch. It opened in 1886 and served several collieries and works along the line. The colliery at Glapwell closed in 1974, leaving the line redundant south of Bolsover. The lines on this section we'll see today were lifted in around 1978. Now, we've been on this line previously when we did the section from Seymour Junction to Bolsover. In that video, I referred to it as the Bolsover branch, which is what it was commonly referred to when the section north of Bolsover was still open. We pick up this time from where we left off just outside Bolsover at the foot of the former Doe Lea Viaduct, where the LD&ECR crossed our line. So the section we're going to see today is known as the Stockley Trail, and we'll follow that trail for a few miles past the old Byron Brick Works and Polterton station before branching off and having a quick look at what remains of the short branch to the former Ramcroft Colliery. So in this location, believe it or not, standing right underneath where the old Doe Lea Viaduct used to be, and that was the LD&ECR, the Lancashire, Derbyshire and East Coast Railway. So no remains of that, as I understand. It was blown up, I believe in the 1950s, could be wrong. I'll have to check my facts on that later, but yeah, so the line went off towards Bolsover, the station up at the top end of Bolsover, Carr Vale, and that way, in fact, we're right at the bottom of the other. I suppose this would be the embankment, wouldn't it, for the viaduct, the end of the viaduct. So that's going off in Chesterfield in that direction. So here is our Doe Lea Viaduct, 8 brick arches, and we can see our Doe Lea Midland branch going underneath. The viaduct was blown up by the army in 1952, and if local accounts are to be believed, it took a few attempts. So I'm actually amazed how little there is left behind. You'd think there would be some kind of, I don't know, I'd be expected to see some kind of masonry. I mean, it was quite a sizable viaduct. A nice little bridge, just right at the start of the trail there. It's just a farm track. So about what is it, about half a mile just after leaving Bolsover, coming onto the trail, you come across the site of one of the old Byron Brick Works. So we've just ventured in, got a brick there, you can just see start BYR. But yeah, there's quite a bit of concrete left lying about. Not sure what this is from. It's obviously been some structure or something here at some date. Well, the railway line's just through the trees here, running alongside of us. The new Byron or Bathurst Brick Works are thought to have started in around 1850. During the Second World War, the works were used as a storage depot for shell casings. The brickworks closed in 1958 when the company went into liquidation. Byron Bricks were known for being some of the hardest bricks in the country and were extremely popular with collieries. I found many a Byron brick on my travels on the area's disused railways and collieries. So we're still on the site of the old Byron Brickworks, and we've just been saying how long it's closed. It's just a forest now, but keep coming across these little piles of bricks. That's something that's been knocked down at some stage, and again you can see on there it says Byron. So this is those same Byron Brickworks, this side from the side of the line. Wow, it's covered in coal on the side of here, absolutely covered in coal. There we go. It's like that was a stack or something here. It's a tall thing, like a chimney or something. So we've just been in that area there having a scout about, which is just mainly forest now. But there were sidings and things on the line here, and we've got what you can see looks like a platform. So I mean, this is going to have been, you can see there's a platform edge there. Get my shadow out of the way. Yeah, we can see. I mean, it's a bit big for a platform down here, but yeah, loading bays and all sorts. I've got the sun quite low right behind me, so it's just casting a shadow. And like I say, this is right on the side of the track bed, the Stockley Trail. So this is quite a bit further, a bit higher than that platform. There's some kind of metalwork or pin sticking out of the wall there. So this platform, or whatever it was, just carries on all the way down here. So we've got a platform a bit higher up there, like a platform on top of a platform. And the platform carries on. Got a bit of a recess or something in there, and then another wall at the back. So what was this bit for? There's little things you find on the side of the line. So we're coming up to a road. So on the maps it was a bridge over the railway line then. So the railway been banked up. Got a couple of random dogs joining us. So Polterton and Sutton Station opened in 1890 as a single platform. Passenger services ceased in 1930 but continued to receive goods for a period afterwards. Whilst at the old station site, it's noticeable how isolated it is and far from any built-up areas. Due to this, the majority of use of the station was from local farms. So we're only about a mile in now, if a mile and a half, if that. It's coming from in that direction. It's crossing a country road, carrying on. But this is the site of an old station. Can't remember which way round it was, Polterton and Sutton, or Sutton and Polterton. I'll put on the screen the correct one. But as you'll see, there's not a lot really of anything left. But if you look at old maps, there was sidings behind here. As you can see, there's a bit of a mound. So we're just on the west side of the station now. So looking straight, coming towards us would have been where the approach via road was to the station. So we're stood on the access road basically, and there was a few buildings around here as well, and there's plenty of rubble lying around amongst all the party paraphernalia. So we've just been, I've not checked the dates properly, but it's 80-90 years since this station probably stopped serving regular passenger trains, so it's perfectly understandable why there's not a lot left. Just having a scout about where the old buildings used to be. Some bricks. There's lots of rubble and masonry down there, but it looks like there's quite a lot of asbestos dumped as well. But oh, it looks like railway tracks, doesn't it? Yeah, there's something here. There's old railway tracks being fashioned into something.
That's different, isn't it?
It's like the old shape, old style railway track.
Just a bit, doesn't it? Just 3 bits.
Yeah.
But it's got a bolt through it here.
Might have been like a end of a buffer.
Could be.
Strange.
Like sidings.
Yeah, strangely enough, its width, I mean, don't carry a tape measure, it's roughly width of a railway line, isn't it? Buffer stop, like you said, end of sidings or something like that. It's interesting. So we've got a line of concrete of some description. That's kind of, we're wondering if that metal thing we've just seen, if that was the end of a line or buffer or something like that, would have been going straight down this little ridge you can see. Just being very careful because of this asbestos. Yeah, old engineering bricks, lots of bricks and masonry on the side there. It's kind of been put over to the side of the field. Another piece of concrete as well. So we'll leave the site of this old station behind us now and we'll crack on down the trail. We're just losing sight of Bolsover Castle there. I don't know if you can make it out. We'll keep his eye out for anything else that we pass. That's very, very, very poor state of repair. A lot of corrosion. That concrete's not fared well over time. And there's another one. We've got a tree growing out of this one. So about half a mile on from that old station, and we had a junction here. So straight on that way, that's our Doe Lea branch. But just off to the right hand side here, we had another line going off to the Ramscroft Colliery. So we're just going to have a look, see if we can see anything on there, or at least just try and trace the route of the old line. So we understand the Ramcroft Colliery opened in 1916 and the branch line opened in around 1919. The colliery closed in 1966. So with regards to the actual colliery site, from looking at the landscape of the former colliery, little remains other than farmers' fields. However, there are remains by the Twin Oaks Hotel with an old lamppost and the former colliery cottages. And here's a view on Google Maps of the old lamppost at the old entrance to the colliery. But let's get back and see what remains of the old disused colliery line. So some concrete foundations just on the side of the line that used to be from a footbridge. So we can see sawn off there. That was the wooden supports. So if we have a look at the other side of the line, we've got the same at this side as well. So you can just make out we are walking on a very, very slight embankment. We've still got a lot of ballast underfoot. So it's not a trail that we're walking on like the Stockley Trail just off to the left hand side. This isn't anything that's been repurposed, but there is quite a well-defined path going through here. Bit of woodworm in that tree, the way it's fallen down. But just having a look at this little culvert on the side of the line. You see through all the way. So we've had a couple of weeks of really nice weather and it's really supercharged the undergrowth and brambles and nettles, everything like that. It's certainly noticeable today. I've not been out for a few weeks. The last time I went out on making a Disused railway video was when I went up the Stocky Trail, beginning of March. So we are now 28th today, so and that's 4 months ago nearly. Sorry, 4 weeks ago. A lot of bricks, a lot of masonry scattered about here. Concrete in the floor sticking out there. We're not sure what it could have been. Can't see any bridges or anything like that in this location, but we're right next to the river now. Yeah, they ask us whether or not, like you said, to shore up the banking next to the river, because they're all the way, they've just fallen down there, and there's a lot of landslips on the banking here. So the track bed is crossing the river Doe Lea now. We've got a little bridge, just being careful not to fall all the way down there. So it's going across at an angle, going that way. So we can get a decent look at that, the wall on the railway side. So just to put the picture from the other way around, so we've just walked alongside here, the river's there, and there's the bridge, so straight on here. So it's a really acute angle that we're crossing the river on, and we'll see the other side of the bridge here. So the railway line from here, I assume, goes off into those fields, which over that direction would have been where the Ramcroft Colliery was. And here's the other side of the bridge. Same sort of thing. A huge supporting wall on the side of the railway tracks crossed over to. So that's it for the Ramcroft. Well, it disappears from there. Not that it ever was there, from what we just saw, but yeah, it just goes. It's just fields now over into the old colliery site. So we're just heading back over onto the Stockley Trail, and we'll just pick up the rest of that back towards Bolsover. So we're back across on the Stockley Trail now. Now this is about as far as you go on the Stockley Trail that follows the old railway line. Going off in that direction, heading south from here, it kind of deviates from the line of the old line. So the old line is just literally going off into these trees here. We've just been trying to pinpoint exactly where the track bed was, but it's not easy. There's nothing really there, and it's very consumed by trees now. So we're heading back north, back up Stockley Trail, back towards Bolsover now, leaving the smell of the sewage farm behind us. It's entering a bit of a cutting. We have seen quite a lot of culverts though on this walk, if nothing else. Little archway. A lot of cracks in this one. Yeah, you can see all the way through there. I think that might be a milepost. There is an MP on the map right in this location. So that's it for today from the Stockley Trail and the old Ramcroft Colliery line. Although not a massive amount to see, still worth a look, and it was a lovely walk in the countryside on a nice pleasant spring afternoon. So I hope you've enjoyed those couple of videos down the Doe Lea and Bolsover branches. As always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you again soon on another video.